Hey everybody, welcome back to Auto Scholar with Mr. B. I'm Mr. B. Today we are looking at the Robinair 34788NI refrigerant machine. This is pretty much the industry standard right now. This is our 134A recovery and recycling machine. So they've got a couple of other models just like this, and they pretty much are all the same. They have a different filter dryer that we have to put on there, but they pretty much work all the same. And we're doing some maintenance on it. So this is April 1st, happy April Fools. And it's starting to get warmer where I live, so we are going to start seeing some air conditioning work. We need to make sure that this machine is good, ready to go, and we are able to perform all these air conditioning services we have coming up without any issues. So, maintenance on this machine is very easy for anybody to perform, and the machine will basically tell you when it's time to do the maintenance. So, with this machine, about 150 pounds of refrigerant being moved through it, you will have to replace the filter dryer on the inside of this machine, and you will have to replace the vacuum pump oil that the vacuum pump runs off of. And both of those are fairly easy. They are guided. You can be guided through this machine, and it'll tell you everything to do. The only issue you may run into is with the filter dryer, it comes with a serial number that you have to enter inside the machine for the machine to reset the counter and not lock out. So that's a new feature for this 34788. The machine I had before didn't do that, but I guess they saw, just with the poor maintenance on these machines, they were starting to have some problems out of the compressors, and they decided to go this route with locking you out of your own machine if you don't buy their own parts. So you're going to get a message up here, and I'm going to pull the camera up and show you this message, that when you go over 125 pounds, and that's recovered pounds, you can charge all you want to with this machine, but recovery pounds, you're going to run into a message to come up that says, hey, you need to filter capacity low, recover will lock out after 25 pounds, and then it starts a countdown to where you get to 0, and it locks out at 0. So right now we have 5.3 pounds left of recovery on this machine before it locks out. And I normally get the filters off of Amazon, but you can call Robinair or any of your major auto parts stores that have commercial account area will normally have this in stock because it's just such a popular machine. So let me get the camera. I'm going to focus in on this, and then we're going to take the cover off. We're going to replace the filter dryer and replace the oil in the vacuum pump. Okay, so I'm walking over here to the machine, and you will see this right here. It'll say filter capacity low, recover will lock out up to 5.3 pounds, replace filter now. And so when this happens, you would replace the check, you would hit the check button, and then you're going to have to take the cover off of this machine for it to expose that filter. And so you have a T30 right here. You have a T30 right here, and you have another Torx right here. This one's actually missing out of my machine. And then you have another bolt that is going to be behind the used oil container. Let's take this off here, and that one looks like it's missing from my machine as well. So go ahead and get those bolts off, and let me show you the filter and everything you're going to need. Okay, so here's the filter. It is 34724, and the serial number is going to be right here. This is the number you're going to have to put in the machine to activate it and get it to reset that counter. And here is our vacuum pump oil. It takes about a half a quart, I believe, is what it normally takes to fill the vacuum pump back up. And I think this runs about 50 bucks, and this is about $10 a bottle, so it's about $60 every time you have to change it out. And it's fairly easy. So let's go ahead and take the cover off the machine, and I'll show you where this filter lives. Okay, so after you get the bolts out, this is going to come right off. And it will hang right here out of the way on the back of the machine. And this will be where your filter is right here. So we'll have to unscrew this, screw the next one on, There are some things we have to do up here. Okay, so if you exit out of where it tells you that you're running out of filter, you can go over here to next and go to menu and go down to your service menu. Filter maintenance. You press that. Replace filter now. You want to go ahead and press check. It's going to ask you to enter the filter serial number. So after the number is entered, it's going to clear the low side. This is just going to make sure there's no refrigerant in that area. I'll let it do this and then I'll start recording again. So after it makes sure that you have a valid serial number, it'll tell you to turn off and replace the filter. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the machine off and come down here to the filter. So this is the filter here. And you just want to use some, some type of a filter plier or something to get around in here to take this off. It just unscrews just like an oil filter does. And then we're going to just screw this one right back where that one went. You just want to hand tighten it, make sure it's completely tight. Okay, so we have spun this back on. Just hand tighten it just like you would an oil filter. You also have a fan back here and make sure that the machine's turned off, but you want to take some compressed air and blow out that fan area right there. It'll get dusty and it could overheat the machine. So now we're going to turn the machine back on. Let it do its little thing. And this will go directly into the vacuum pump oil change. Okay? So the vacuum pump is going to start running. And it's going to warm up the oil so we can drain it. Our drain is going to be right here on the side. I've got my drain pan right here. And we are going to unscrew this. And that's where the oil is going to come out of. And our fill spot is going to be right here. And so our fill level, you'll have a sight glass right here. And you'll see a minimum and a maximum. And so you want to fill the oil back up to right here. So now it says drain used oil from pump and replace with 5 ounces of new oil. Remove fill cap to speed draining of oil. So we're going to remove our fill cap. We'll take this cap off right here. And we're going to make a mess. You may want to use a hose or something to go on there. Once that drains out, we'll put this cap back on and we'll go ahead and fill it up. So yeah, I got a transmission pan. It's going to work a little bit better to drain this oil out of than that drain pan that I can't fit under there. So you're going to need something to fit under there. Even a small bowl or something that you have laying around will work. And we're just going to continue to let that drain out for about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, so I went ahead and filled up with the correct amount of oil. And again, you'll just put it right in between these two lines here. And then we are going to press the green arrows. And then we're going to check the level again as the pump is running. So the pump level will drop a little bit and we'll just keep filling it up. Okay, so after we've got this filled, we're going to connect our service hoses back here to the valves. I'm going to open up the valves and we're going to leak test the system. So it's going to recover everything, purge out all the air, and make sure it holds it completely tight. Make sure we didn't create a leak while we're doing this. Okay, so I purposely left one of my valves open just to show you this. If you put this back together and you don't have your valves closed, or there's a leak somewhere in the system, you're going to get this right here that's going to say vacuum leak test failed. And you just need to check all your connections and make sure they're good, and make sure all your hoses are good, and all your connections to your filter and all that are good. If this comes up, you've got a problem, okay? Okay, so after we've done that, I'm just going to give a good visual inspection of the machine. I did notice one problem on this machine that I'm going to get repaired before I put it back into service, and that is this plug is missing the grounding point right here, so it needs another end. We'll go ahead and put one of those on. And I'm checking the hoses here. These hoses are starting to show a little wear, and so I'm going to order another set of hoses for this to put on, and probably go ahead and get the new ends as well, just to make sure that this thing is running smoothly into air conditioning season. Again, if your machine's down, you legally cannot do any air conditioning work, and that is going to cost you money, and we don't want that. So go ahead and check the tires, make sure they're, if they're inflatable tires, they're full. Check the casters, make sure there's nothing crazy going on there, and go ahead and put, a few pounds of refrigerant in it and get it ready to work. So I do have another video as well of how to operate this machine if you're a little unfamiliar. So I will post that above and in the description. And after that, we are pretty much done. Okay, so a few more things. This machine is pretty expensive. This is not a bottom of the line machine. So be careful what you're putting in this machine from a customer's car. You can get now, I just did a review not too long ago on a refrigerant identifier to make sure that you have the correct refrigerant, and a sealant test kit as well. So you need to be testing for sealant, you need to be testing for refrigerant purity before you put it in your very expensive machine. Sealant will kill a compressor in this machine very quickly, and the compressor is about $800 to $1,000 depending on where you get it, and you're going to have to order it. Your machine's going to be down for a week and a half, and you may have to call Robinair for warranty or anything like that. And it's just easier to check the car and make sure that everything that is coming out of that car is okay for this machine. And of course, we have a filter. The filter can't catch everything, and I have seen really expensive equipment get messed up because somebody used the parts store fix a hole for the air conditioning systems. So if you like the video, please give me a like and also subscribe to the channel. I am going to put an operation video, and I'll put the refrigerant identifier and the leak test kit videos in the description if you want to add those tools to your arsenal. Air conditioning work is very profitable, so keeping this machine running is very important. Again, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, VK if you're in Eastern Europe, Twitter. You can find me there under Auto Scholar Mr. B. And so I'm getting ready. Today's my last day. I'm going to spring break next week. I'm actually just going to stay home and do some honey-do list stuff. But if y'all have any questions, leave them down in the comments. And we'll see you next time on Auto Scholar with Mr. B.